Hi there, welcome to Cash Grab, the podcast where we go through different franchises and the games that have been based on them and see if they are indeed cash grabs or not. I'm Dan.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Stef.
That good?
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
Second attempt, I'm happy with
Yeah,
that.
a bit garbled.
Not too
but-
bad.
Bit garbled, bit all over the shop, but it'll do.
Better than Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is not with us today?
He's not. He's
It was his birthday yesterday at the time of recording.
yeah,
So,
so he's feeling a little bit worse for wear.
yes.
Everyone sing happy birthday to Tom. We'll give you half a minute of silence.
Let's
Silence of the thing
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
singing. Bearing in mind, most people listen to this on their own, so they're just going to sing happy birthday on their own. And, like, you might be listening to it in a car, so you'll look mental on the way to work.
He did send his regards though. He sent a text saying
did.
that he'd just shut the bed.
That is a literal term.
That is, yeah. That is a fact.
Yeah, he gave us our blessings his blessings to say that, to let you all know.
He was drinking a lot of brandy last night.
Yeah.
Turned into a lot of Guinness. That's a messy. that does disaster for your tract, I'm telling you.
Poor lad. Anyway, have we been playing anything interesting, lads?
Well, I was going through a bit of an old school, like trying to get through old video games. I'm about to play Mario 64, or maybe Spyro. I might run through that after I did Crash Bandicoot. I might, fuck it, might as well.
Spyro's pretty good actually. I really enjoyed Spyro when I played that.
I really hope that they remake Spyro like they did
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
After the success of, Crash Bandicoot went down pretty well.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
It's all Activision, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I can't see why they wouldn't do it.
Activision sold on the rights now.
To
I
Spyro?
think.
Did they?
Yeah, they definitely. Or was it Insomniac that sold? Maybe Activision still has it.
So
yeah.
definitely probably wasn't the right word.
Well, who's making those Skylanders? Because that's got Spyro in it, isn't
That's
it?
I
That's
think that
probably
might be
Activision.
Activision. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think maybe they do have the rights.
So they probably still have the rights to Spyro.
Yeah,
so
but they're the ones fucking it up.
they should. Well, I don't know. Kids seem to love the Skylander stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what it is really.
No, neither do I. It's toys.
Yeah. Aren't they like digital toys? You like stick them on. It's like a Yu-Gi-Oh style.
Yeah. You
What, like
you-
amiibos?
Kind of like amiibos. Like you get
Yeah.
the toys and you stick them on this little pad and then they
Right.
appear in the game.
Ah, okay.
So it's kind of like amiibos, yeah. But I think they were before amiibos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I've still been playing Final Fantasy 15. I've done the festivals. I've done the Assassin's Creed festival. Now I'm back onto the actual game. Yeah.
Very good. And have you stopped with Sonic completely?
Yeah, I haven't played Sonic Mania for a while actually. I need to
Sonic Mania.
I need to finish it off. Yeah, it's really good.
Yes, I've seen a lot. To be honest, I've just been listening to what is the second act, the music for it, the Industrial Zone or the
Chemical Zone.
Chemical Plant Zone.
Chemical Plant.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I was just listening.
Oh, that's
to
one,
that.
that's one of my favourite tunes. When I realised where we were, when that level kicked in, I was like, yes, Chemical Plant. The
Oh.
music came in. Oh, that and Green Hill Zone are just so like iconic.
Just before I went away a couple of months back, I got Sonic Generations and I played through that for the first time.
That's really good.
Yeah, it was okay. It was a very short game, and the last boss was absolute bollocks. I don't know how. Pardon my language. I don't know how.
Yeah, fucking hell, Dan.
Maybe I wasn't really good at it, but it was just such a hit and miss boss. Don't laugh.
Well, you unlocking that lock.
Yeah, that was,
God.
Well,
A sight to behold.
I took a while to learn how it did, and then on the second try, I was perfect, wasn't I?
No,
First try.
that was me.
What?
Anyway,
No.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed Sonic Generations, but I don't really remember the last boss. But I got it when it came out. I think. No, actually, no. I got it in a sale, so I must have got it a while afterwards.
Yeah.
I
might
can't remember
not
the
have
last
ever
Sonic
even
game I
got
played.
to
I think the
last
last
boss.
Sonic game I played was on Dreamcast.
Oh,
Was
Sonic
this-
Adventure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Good place to stop.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never played any of them afterwards.
No,
Sonic
neither did I. I
Generations.
just know that they're supposed to be terrible.
Well, there was Sonic 06, which was
Awful.
awful, just because they didn't finish it.
Then there was one where he turns into a werewolf.
Unleashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
There
the
was
games.
Sonic Colors.
I heard Colors was good, and I heard
Never played Colors. What else was there between Sonic
Lost
Adventure?
World.
Oh yeah, the Lost. Yeah.
But to be honest, I've never played any of them. I only played Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
When was Shadow the Hedgehog?
That was 2. Oh my god, Shadow the Head. What, you mean just the actual game with the guns?
Yeah.
Oh.
Shadow the Hedgehog. The thing is, when I was a kid, I loved it. Because I was well into Sonic, and then now you could play as Shadow, and I was like, oh, I really like Shadow because he's like the evil Sonic.
Yeah.
And then you got guns, and then looking back at it, it was a pile of shit.
It's
It was dreadful.
the
but,
worst thing.
But when I was a kid, it was great because you had like different paths that you could go down. So like you complete this level in this way, and you go to like you have a choice of 3 levels, and you go to that like number 1. But if you complete the level a different way, you'll go to level 3.
But it
They're
made
like- so,
actually
like,
completing
That's
the game.
quite cool, actually.
So
That's,
it had like
that's-
3 different paths. So it had a bit of replayability to it, and
Well,
I loved it.
You
but,
couldn't
like,
get to the real ending unless you did everything, which takes forever.
Yeah, but I wasn't doing
Saying
that
that
as a
'cause
kid.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
I mean, I was just shooting things and exploding cars, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I'm never going to look back at it, because if I look back at it, I'll realise it is
You'll
a
cry.
steaming pile of
like Spider-Man.
like Spider-Man
Yeah.
and Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadow came out after Heroes.
There seems to be a theme, doesn't it? All the games you loved as a child just turn out to be shit.
It's turned out to be really shit.
Well, when we
yeah.
get to Spider-Man 2,
We'll see.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Okay.
that'll be then.
Alright, so should we get into this one?
Yeah,
Talking
why
about
not?
games we used to play when we were younger.
Yeah. So, Warriors. So, it's a game that I played. I had on PS2. Did you have it, Steph?
I have your copy.
You actually... Oh, right.
That copy there is yours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'll be
right.
taking that back. No, I'm joking.
Go for it. You've got a
I can't
working
play it.
PS2.
Yeah, I've got a working PS2. Did you ever play it then?
No, never did. But
We spent hours on it.
Yeah.
Because the co-op, you could play it in co-op, couldn't you?
The co-op was really good.
Just
We-
making
we-
sure we 1 or 2. Yeah, I was good. So I had this horrible memory that maybe we didn't. You just gave me the
Just-
spare controller not plugged in. I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
that's
this is
it.
so
This
good.
amazing. Yeah, pipe down, Steph.
Yeah, no, this we used to play this a lot when we were younger, but I think I used to play this a lot more, and then I've never actually seen the film
I had seen the film, and I have a feeling that
before you played the game.
I have a feeling I made a point of watching the film. It might have been just after I bought the game, actually, so I may have played the game first.
How old
but,
were we when the game came out? When did it come
So
out?
it was 2005, so it would have been like 13?
13.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the film's probably not
13,
aimed at
And
13-year-olds.
the game's an 18.
It's an 18 game. Yeah.
We did not care. If it kept us quiet, then the parents were happy to.
Yeah, that's
I remember
it.
playing GTA Vice City.
Exactly, yeah. To be fair,
When I
what,
was-
Vice
I was
City
like,
came
oh.
out in 2002, and we
Yeah,
were all
we
playing
played
that.
Yeah.
God, that was great.
Do you remember? I won't name names. But do you remember the kid in our secondary school who wasn't allowed to play the games till he was 18? I'll tell you.
Can you,
I'll tell
can
you
you
the
mouth
name.
the name to me?
No,
What?
because I ended up saying it. I'll tell you who it was after the episode. But like,
Can't wait that long.
but he had like GTA 3. He had Vice City.
You'd be just
He
piling
had,
them
like-
up.
Yeah, he just had them waiting, and he was like, "Oh, when I'm 18, I'm allowed to play them all." And I remember
No
thinking at the time,
way.
like, I remember thinking, well, when you're 18, mate, there's gonna be a lot better things out because the rate things are coming out.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, who has that much self-restraint at 13 years old?
Yeah, I don't know. This kid, he had all the games.
Who is
So
this
like,
kid?
his mum would buy him the games, but she wouldn't let him play them.
Okay,
so I
so
remember I
he-
went round once and I was like, "Oh my god, you got like I think it was when San Andreas just came out, and I was like, "You got San Andreas? That's amazing." He was like, "Yeah, my mum bought me San Andreas." I was like, "Let's put it on." He was like, "No, I can't play it till I'm 18."
Why is she?
So wait.
Wait,
So
he's
did his-
self-imposing this.
Is
on
he? Yeah. Is
himself.
that?
No, his mum's like, "I'll buy it for you because everyone else has got it, so you don't feel left out."
That's a ridiculous waste of money.
You can't
And
play it.
that's crap parenting. That's torture.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
torture.
That's terrible.
Or maybe his dad played them or something.
Bollocks.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird, but he wasn't allowed to play it. And I was like, "Can I borrow it then?"
Exactly. I'll let you know how it is. Yeah.
The first letter of his name.
S.
Okay.
You probably won't know it till I say it.
No,
Anyway,
I had no friends at school, so.
So the Warriors.
Warriors.
So
So
the film.
the film. So the film came out in February 1979.
So you'd seen this before, Ad.
So I'd seen it before.
You'd never seen this, Dan.
No, I'd seen bits and pieces. I hadn't seen the beginning all the way through.
I was pretty certain I'd seen this, but then watching it, I don't know if I have, but I think I have. I think I might watch it drunk.
Yeah. It is one of those things you can watch drunk. But to be fair, it is one of those movies where you could watch it sober and still forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
there's not that like.
There's not much
I
going
mean,
on.
it's a good movie.
It's very
I
slow
mean,
paced.
I'd probably watch it again, and I probably will watch it again at some point. But it's not.
It doesn't.
It's not an
grip you.
amazing movie. You know,
Yeah.
it's not the sort of movie you're gonna get all your friends to come around and watch because it's not that good. But it's a
Yeah.
cult classic, so it's worth a watch if
I
anyone's thinking about it.
I think it was very artistic, very in a sense. And immediately, what I thought was just the way it was. It reminded me of Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, almost in a sense. It's quite Shakespearean. At least that's what I thought.
Sorry.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Oh well.
I've only read like 2 Shakespeare plays.
Actually, did Baz Luhrmann didn't he do that new TV show? What is it called? Get Down. The Get Down. Is it the Get Down? I think it's called the Get Down. And about the same sort of thing, like hip hop gangs in New York or LA or something in this sort of time period. So it does kind of have that. Maybe that's where Baz Luhrmann got some of the ideas from, because it is all the sort of like overly exaggerated people in makeup wearing shit clothes.
Oh god.
Yeah. So should we get into the Warriors then?
Yeah, so let's go for it. So it starts off with that kind of weird GTA style comic book opening,
Yeah.
which I think is odd for like a movie in the 70s. It's late 70s to be fair, but it's like
Yeah, it's still
different.
like it did feel different, and like there's one bit where it cuts scenes out and it like kind of turns into a comic book, comes out and goes across the pages and then zooms in again, and it's like a way of moving a story on quicker than showing a scene.
Yeah.
So like it could just quickly bounce between comic book panels. So it was a bit like it was I wasn't expecting it at all.
Yeah.
For like it starts off with like a opening comic book and then like fades into the real life.
Which works quite well, actually.
Yeah, it worked really well.
With the Ferris wheel with like
Very
the
nice.
neon lights, and actually, yeah, it really stylized, really good. And then goes straight into meeting the Warriors. I can't remember their names. Swan,
Oh, there's like Swan,
Cochise.
Fox.
Cochise, yeah.
I'm not able to get the
Rembrandt. Oh, what is this?
Cleo. Oh, Cleon.
Okay, we've
Cleon.
got yeah,
Like Leon.
Ajax.
Cleon, Swan, Rembrandt, Snow, Ajax, Vermin, Fox, Cochise,
Cochise.
and Cowboy.
Oh, how could we forget Cowboy?
So they're all there. I mean, if anyone's, I'm assuming people who have at least seen pictures of what the Warriors looks like, and you'll be seeing it if you're watching it on the YouTube channel. But they're all there in their burgundy waistcoats and nothing else.
Yeah, it's
and
like
it's got kind of a
they've got
gay
like,
vibe.
yeah, they've got feathers hanging from their ears. Like so, basically, a quick rundown before we get into the different gangs. It's New York, but it's a version of New York where it's overrun by gangs, and there's like
So New York.
there's like 100 different gangs, but they haven't got many members each. Like that was.
Well, they've got hundreds of members, but like they're only allowed
We
to
only
take
see-
9 to this
see a
event
few.
that they're going
They're
to.
delegates.
Yeah.
But like, right, so there's loads of gangs, so they need to stand out from each other. So that way of standing out from each other is what they wear.
Clearly.
So like, right, so you got the Warriors who have gone for like a Native American kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Because they've got like, they call him like War Chief and,
Yeah.
you know, so they've got that kind of vibe to them. Then you got the Destroyers who just have a jean jacket.
Standard.
Yep. Then you got the Punks who are in overalls.
Right.
Maybe steampunk sort of vibe going on
Maybe.
there.
No.
You got the Lizzies. I mean, I am reading this out of the Warriors the game book.
Brooke.
He remembers the
So-
all off by heart.
I'm assuming, yeah, all of that. I'm assuming that these are all in the film.
Well, in the film we saw the opening
We saw-
scene
we
where
saw
we
all
see
of
them.
these.
Yeah,
I didn't
they
see the
they
Lizzies.
cut through.
No, we didn't see the Lizzies. That's why I'm wondering if
You
it's
might get
Rockstar.
introduced to them later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's the
Excited to see
Lizzies
the
is
Lizzies.
just.
because it was the same with the Furies, the baseball Furies
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
they're called.
We saw them at the end, but
Yeah.
we didn't get to know their name. But the Lizzies are just a group of women. It's the only all-female group. But that's why I'm wondering if it's Rockstar.
Putting it in.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they are in the film. We'll have to do a bit of googling.
Yeah.
You got the hi-hats, who are basically a load of mimes.
Yeah.
So they've got the suspenders on and white faces.
Yeah, they struck me quite early on.
Yeah, they're a bit weird. You've got the Savage Huns, who are all Asian.
Oh right, those guys. Yes.
Yeah, they come out of Chinatown. But I'm reading this out of the book.
But they were in the opening scene as well.
Yeah.
They were all there. So I'm assuming they were there.
You got the Jones Street Boys.
that must be a joke, right?
I mean, these guys just have black and yellow stripy T-shirts.
Why not?
They're just
Better than a
bees.
Could have called them the bumblebees.
burgundy
The
waistcoat.
bumblebees. You've got the Turnbull ACs.
Oh, the skinheads.
Skinheads.
They're the skinheads, yeah. So they've also got a like a denim vest. There's a lot of open chests and stomachs in this film. You got the boppers.
They're
just
the
love
purple
wearing
lot.
purple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the purple boppers.
They kind of look like a typical GTA pimp.
Yeah.
You got the Hurricanes, who are basically. Oh, how do you explain these guys? They're just slightly overweight in tank tops or topless with what kind of hat's that?
Those fedoras.
Like a fedora,
Fedora
yeah.
hat. Yeah, so they've got
They look like the Mexican typical Latino,
Oh no,
like,
like
stereotype,
stereotypical Latino gangster.
they do not look good.
Yeah. Then you got all the orphans
Who
who
like-
basically just wear jeans and a green t-shirt. Like there's not a lot of
Variety.
variety.
But
Oh,
I mean,
Maroon-
regardless, none of them look that menacing. Okay, so there's so many gangs, and in the movie at least, I wouldn't be intimidated.
No, if
I'm
they
not sure
walked up to
if someone
me-
walked up to me in a furry purple hat.
I mean, for
Right.
example, the Riffs, which is the biggest gang in the Warriors universe, they just wear like dressing gowns.
Yeah, bathrobes.
So they've just got like nice shiny dressing gowns. That's literally it. Like what a boxer wears for when he comes
Yeah.
out of the before he fights.
Nice robe, silky robe.
Yeah,
Like
silky bathrobe.
What are they called? A kimono.
Kimono.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like-
those are what the women wear.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what they're wearing as well.
yukata.
They don't go down very low.
No.
So yeah, so none of them look
None of them look
particularly
threatening.
menacing. Yeah, and there's like there was a weird one, wasn't it? There was the looked like a load of Yorkshire lads in flat caps and like
Yeah, it
and
looked
a
like a
Union
load of,
Jack.
Yeah, there's one guy
Just like
wearing
real-
a Union Jack t-shirt
Oh yeah,
on
just
his own.
randomly crossed
really
over the
surreal.
pond.
I'm sure that'll go down well.
So yeah, so they're all heading out. So the opening scene is really all of these different gangs on their way to this big meetup that's been arranged by the dudes who wear bathrobes.
Stylus?
Yeah,
that his
no,
name?
Cyrus,
Cyrus.
something like
Stylus,
that.
yeah.
So
Stylus.
Cyrus is their
You use
leader.
him to control your touch panel.
Yeah, he's their leader, and he's kind of like trying to kind of bridge the gap between all the gangs so they can take on the real enemy, who are the police,
The dirty pigs.
the dirty pigs. So they're all gathering in a park to talk over their differences.
Yeah,
basically.
talking from the jungle gym like a true
Yeah.
warrior.
But there's a good few of them there. There's like good, I'd say,
Oh, there's-
well
there's-
over 1,000.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there. But then, like, so the opening scene is cuts of different gangs coming out of their location onto the trains or whatever, interspersed with moments from the Warriors from before talking to each other about what they're going to.
Yeah.
And they're saying, like, oh, we can't bring any weapons, we can't, blah, blah, blah. And they're all like, well, what if it kicks off? And I don't even know if I'm going to listen to this guy. Who is he? All this kind of stuff. So they're all very, like, unsure. And you could tell the other gangs are quite unsure as well.
Yeah.
They get there, and within the first sentence, the guy has everyone eating out of his palms.
He's got a charisma about him, to be fair.
He has got a
It's a
charisma.
bathrobe.
And so much so that if anyone watched wrestling when they were younger, do you remember Booker T?
Booker T.
Basically, Booker T's just starred himself completely on this guy because this guy's opening line was, "Can you count, suckers?"
Can you dig it, suckers?
And it's like, "Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?" And I'm pretty sure that is the only words that Booker T can say.
Can
So-
you dig it?
I
That's
used to
pretty
love
much it.
Booker T. He was so awesome, wasn't he?
So he's got a charisma about him. So I'm not surprised that they
Not
were
a
eating out of his
vocabulary,
hand.
but a charisma.
Yeah, it's a charisma.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
he gives a speech which wasn't that impressive, really. He just kind of spouts a load of numbers gets the crowd excited because he says like, "There's 60,000 of us and there's only 20,000 police, so let's take New York
Pretty much, yeah.
for ourselves, borough by borough." But the thing is, if he does that, he's still going to have to then give the boroughs out to the different groups. So it's still going to be back to the way it was, but they're all going to do it under one name, and there's normally no police.
Yeah.
But they're still
I
going to
mean,
have to...
he's not thought it through. I can see there being divisions in this 60,000 strong army
Yeah.
that he's not really thought about.
Because if you take 60,000 people who are like each in their own families and then put them all together, they're still going to be tied to their own families, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they're still going to, last week, like this family were attacking you. So you're not going to be like, "Oh, we'll forget that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, mate.
Some guy in a bathrobe told me it's all okay now.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll let it slide. We'll live together." It's all
But
sweet.
they do. From the looks of it, they're all thinking, yeah, this could work.
Yeah,
This is-
everyone's up for it.
Until,
Which gang was it? The Destroyers.
yeah. So the police start rocking up. You kind of get a picture of the police kind of creeping up on the park, like they're about to bust them all. But then you get this shot of this gun changing hands about 50 times.
Yeah.
Like you can't see
Great
anything else,
as
but
possible.
other than like this gun being passed down the line. And he's thinking that's the most obvious thing in the world, like pass the parcel, and it
It just
This
keeps
huge
going.
change.
Surely any of them had an open shot, but they had to pass it to the guy right at the end.
Yeah, he looks a bit like Special.
I wondered where you were going with that. Okay.
He does, doesn't he?
He pulled some
He's-
very
he
interesting
does-
faces.
Yeah,
He is the one that leans out of the car and does the bottles. The Warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the film, you probably know that quote
Yeah.
or have seen that clip at least. So it's him,
Come out to play. That dude.
that dude.
So yeah, so then he takes the gun after what seems an eternity, and shoots Cyrus. His name was?
Cyrus,
Yeah,
Cyrus.
Cyrus. And everyone freaks the fuck out, and the police rock up, and everyone's just running.
There's a moment where the guy who shot Cyrus turns around, and he sees that one of the warriors is staring at him.
Yeah,
And they have this
and has seen
really
him.
awkward stare off for a while.
He pulls the weirdest grin as he aims the gun at him.
Yeah, and then he goes to shoot the warrior, and I can't remember what happens, but he
Then the
doesn't.
police turn all their lights on, and he gets a bit blinded.
Yeah.
and- yeah.
But because of that, he then decides to blame the warriors for the shooting.
Yeah.
So the main warrior, the war chief, what was his name? Cleon.
Cleon.
He goes down to see if Cyrus is okay. Obviously, he's not.
No, he's just been shot.
But he goes down to like see what the deal is because he's one of the top dogs. So he goes downstairs, and then the guy who shot him ran down and blames him, and now everyone's after them.
Yeah.
And we have the worst fight scene.
Oh.
Yeah.
It started off okay when they were just focusing on one-on-ones. It was a bit...
They're hitting each other, but you can tell they're not hitting anything because like there's just no feeling or weight
There's
to the
no,
punches.
there's no stage combat really going on there.
It's like they've watched too many like Bruce Lee movies,
Yeah,
and it's just like really slow, like
Yeah, this
overly
is
exaggerated punches, and
not a kung fu
yeah,
movie.
it's just it looks more like ballet than it does
yeah.
a fight. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And then because they all now believe that he was the one that killed that leader, and everyone's rocked up behind him. So he gets pushed into the middle, and there's like 30 people elbowing him
just
once.
elbowing him.
But they're not really elbowing him.
No.
They kind of look like they're doing a half-hearted fist pump into the air.
Again, it
If
looks
he's
it
on
looks
the-
a lot like ballet. It looks like it's a interpretation via dance of what someone being beaten to a pulp would look like.
But if he was on the floor in that crowd, he'd been beaten to the floor, and they were all just their elbows were coming up to like their ribs, and they were all just like one of them had one of the extras had a huge, massive grin, so he was he was just pissing himself.
Yeah, he
It was
loving
more
life.
symbolic elbowing than anything. They just wanted to show their displeasure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all the other warriors had run away at this point to try to get away from the police and everyone else, and they're kind of hiding in a cemetery. Okay, so they don't really know what's going on. They don't know that their war chief guy's been captured.
They think he's been arrested.
Yeah, they
not
think
that
he's been arrested.
Done by the rest of the
the gangs.
Because they still think that the truce is on.
Yeah,
Because obviously there was a truce called for this meetup.
Yeah,
they broke out of the area in the slowest fashion possible. Like punching that fence with a...
Punching through a fence, yeah. I mean, there are better ways to do it.
Yeah, kick it.
Yeah.
It was an old fence.
Yeah.
Just kick it.
Yeah.
Yeah, run at it. Just kick it. Don't punch.
Yeah. But they're probably not the smartest guys in the world. They're all in a street gang. They've all... What?
You can't be. One of them might be a genius. One of them.
None of them.
They're
none of
all
them show.
wearing... We're all wearing vests and nothing else.
You
right?
can't make
They've got
judgments.
headbands on and earrings, right?
They got
They're
feathers hanging from their
It's
ears.
just fabulous, you know?
They're just fabulous. Yeah, sorry. Okay, maybe they're geniuses, but they have all decided to punch this fence instead of kick it or run through it. So
Yeah, but
I
the thing
highly
is,
doubt it.
they were punching where their legs were. Like they were punching down.
Yeah, I know,
they weren't even
yeah.
punching the fence like
eye
at the
line,
top.
yeah.
They were punching the bottom of the fence, which is on the floor, which is closer to your legs than your fist.
No, they were working
Yeah.
their way up, you know?
Anyway,
So then
they
their
got to the
plan
cemetery.
of action when they get to the cemetery is to kind of get back to Coney Island, which is like an hour away or something on the
I think
on
they
the
said
tube.
about an hour
Yeah,
away,
about an
yeah.
hour away. But they're saying to themselves, if the truce is off because Cyrus is dead, then pretty much anything can happen between here and the train station,
Yes,
which inevitably it does. Otherwise, it'd be a shit movie.
of course.
So
Yeah, imagine those. Just get on the train. They just sit there. The rest of the hour is
Oh,
them
this
just
was,
on the train, just chatting.
eventful evening.
Then they get there, and then their war chief's just like, "All right, guys, I made you some tea.
Yeah.
we good to go."
They let me go. They found out I didn't shoot anybody.
Yeah. But one of them tries to take control. Swan, I think it was.
Was it AJ?
No, so Swan takes control because
He did.
Cleon's made him war chief
when
in
Cleon's
his
not
place,
about,
and Ajax has kind of gone, well, who made you the boss? And everyone else went, war chief did,
yeah.
and
Step
that was
off, mate.
that was the end of that. I think.
Yeah, I understand that's his character, but he was like really fucking whiny.
Yeah.
We
Like-
might as well just say now that the dialogue and the acting is not top
It is
notch
pretty
in this
poor.
film.
It is.
It was pretty bad. So
Again, just no one's intimidating at all so far, except maybe the skinheads. But even they were a bit
Yeah.
ineffectual.
Yeah, but so they kind of did get a little bit more intimidating. So kind of over the radio, so you've got that cool DJ woman who we've later found out is the Moon in Bear in the Big Blue House. Have you ever seen that? I mean, so credit to her. She's
I
just gone
did
from
not
strength to strength.
I mean, we had that Finding Nemo episode with Bruce. That was a surprise.
Yeah,
And now this one with the
with Luna.
the moon.
Yeah.
That was. We're bringing out some serious crackers at the moment.
Yeah, hardcore knowledge. Pub quiz. We're gonna we're
hardcore
smashing that
Wikipedia.
through. So she's gone out on the radio and basically said, "Get the Warriors."
Yeah. Here's
Yeah,
one
but
for you. the
so she was
Warriors.
like, "The Warriors, if you're out there, here's one for you." And then she puts on a song.
Like the most lovely song.
Oh, it's kind of like a poppy disco song.
About coming to get you.
No, it's like "Roy, you can't run or hide," or basically something
that's
like
it. You
that.
can't run from love.
Something along
That's
those
what it
lines.
So it's like
Yeah, the
so-
undertones in this entire film, they are very homosexual in a way.
Yeah.
It is a bit.
Yeah.
But what's the biggest group called? Because they held like a little meeting,
The
didn't
riffs, right?
The riffs,
they? The Riffs, yeah. They held a little meeting to say like, the Warriors have killed our guys. Who knows about the Warriors? Just everyone's stone silent. I thought someone would know something.
Nah. Who
Are the
are
Warriors?
they?
Are the Warriors that pathetic?
Well, apparently so.
They've got a little bit of Coney Island, don't
Yeah, exactly.
they? Nothing much.
So, so she's come over the radio, said to all the gangs, kind of, get the Warriors. So they're all looking for them. And then it kind of turns into, like, we get a shot of all of the different gangs kind of going out,
Gearing up.
getting tooled up to go and find the Warriors. And it kind of turns into Mad Max with this, like, all these
Yeah.
skinheads on this bus. And they've all got, like, chains and, like, wood.
Like
like,
bits of wood, like
yeah.
4x2s, and they're all just kind of.
And there's
Yeah.
this stupid scene. So they Warriors have managed to get to the train station, and they see the train that they need to get, but they've also just seen this busload of Mad Max-esque
Skinheads
gangsters,
drive past,
skinheads
yeah.
drive past,
I see
and they go
turtles.
like, "Should we run for it?" No one says yes. One of them just starts legging it, and so the rest
Yeah.
like follow. Okay,
But
then
I actually quite enjoyed the way that when the bus first drove past, they just walked backwards a little bit, and the bus drove past and
Yeah,
didn't see
I
him. And they
couldn't see
clearly
him.
watched the bus go past. So like they were still in broad
I mean,
daylight.
none of them have had the forethought to take off their burgundy waistcoat. It's
Yeah.
the only thing that identifies them as
As
the
warriors.
Warriors.
Got to
No one
keep your
knows who
colours,
they
man.
are.
Got to keep your colours.
But to be
yeah.
fair, they still don't know at this point that they're being chased.
That's true.
They just think that the truce is off.
So they decide to run and try and make the train to get back to Coney Island, but in front of this bus. Okay, so they're running down this straight street, right? Probably about 200 meters or something more.
Oh, God.
Right? They didn't
was a
even try to
fair
get
run.
closer to the stairs. They just gone, oh well, we can outrun a bus. So there's this bus chasing these like 7 guys.
The bus
like,
had like 30 people
the
on it.
bus
to
did
be
have a
fair.
fair few people, so it's
Oh,
probably
but-
encumbered by the weight of people. But it could still probably
They were outrunning this bus by a
outrun a
lot.
guy.
Yeah, I'm
they-
sure the bus could have caught up, but they done a rick-on and they just ran forwards.
Yeah.
They didn't like. So basically, it's the typical kind of. I think they call it the subway, don't they? But it's overground.
Yeah.
So it's the bit where you've got a road underneath it, and then either side of the road you've got the pillars that are supporting the thing,
Yeah.
like the actual train track. If you get on the road, why don't you just run to the right, get behind those big pillars, because you ain't going to get that.
Yeah, exactly,
Bus
the
through
bus
there.
isn't gonna go
and then
through
you're
'em.
going to run through that alongside the road to the stairs up top.
It's like we were saying, you know, they're not geniuses.
They're not the smartest,
They're
are
not-
they?
Also, they were not that far away from the stairs. In the like,
Yeah, in the clip before when they
Yeah.
hid from the bus, I'm sure
Yeah.
the stairs were in eyesight, and then they ran for like a good minute to get to them.
were they running in the wrong direction? What was going on?
So they get to the train station, but this is the weirdest train in the world because only one door on this entire train opens.
And it's the one right at the end.
And it's the one right at the end, but it stays open for bloody ages.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how is everyone else getting on and off of this train? It's like the train is purposely there for them. So, but they managed to get on, just.
Yep. And none of the skinheads get him.
But then they have no idea where they're going. Like, one of them's looking at the map and goes, hey guys, I've found Coney Island. It's like, well, you just come from there.
Yeah.
Surely this is your city.
Yeah, you should have an idea.
You shouldn't be excited that you've seen it on a map. Or maybe he just learned how to read Coney Island. The words.
Maybe.
And that's why he's so
Or maybe
excited.
he learned how to read the underground maps, which we all know are pretty simple.
That is-
Because they're designed to be as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Especially like the Manhattan one. Like
They
if
are
you
just a
look at the-
series of straight lines.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
that
And they've
hard.
just got circles where the stations are, and you read the letters after that to find out what station it is. It's not difficult. If you look at the full London Underground one, I'd understand if you found it a bit difficult to find a station because it's massive.
Yeah.
But the New York one ain't that big.
No. Anyway, so
The passengers on that train were really pissed off.
Yeah, they were not happy,
You
were
saw
they?
like 2 women sitting on the far end of that first carriage that they all jumped on while they were making noise. And I loved her face. I was like, probably the best bit of acting I've seen so far.
yeah, you'd be pissed off
Yeah,
too,
to be
though,
fair,
wouldn't
I'd
you?
be
Yeah,
pissed off.
I'd
If I
be
was
pretty
like,
pissed off.
a nice quiet journey home, and then like 8 or 9 blokes just running with their stomachs out with their red vests on, screaming. Yeah, I probably would be quite annoyed.
She's probably sitting there going, who the Warriors are? I've never heard of them.
Yeah, I'm all
They're-
about the boppers.
They're not
Yeah.
around here.
Yeah. I can't actually remember what happens. What we saw after that was.
Well, that's the bit when they're like, "Oh, we're home free. We're done."
Yeah.
And then
There's a fire.
one of them's like, "Well, don't say that till we're actually home."
Yeah.
Like, ooh. So then someone reports back to the main guy now, says, "Oh, no, the skinheads couldn't get him." So he's like, "All right, we'll sort him out." So they set fire to the next station.
Fair
know,
enough. Yeah, that's
the thing
that's
is-
good thinking.
Smart.
That's going to stop a train.
It would stop a train, but there's a lot of vandalism, right?
I don't think they mind that though. I think
care.
I feel like that's bread and butter for
But
them.
why couldn't
It's
right?
against their morals.
So the radio announcer woman,
Yeah.
she said that the Warriors are from Coney.
Yeah.
Like,
Why don't they all just go to Coney?
Why don't they just go to Coney
Well,
and wait?
It is an hour away.
Yeah, fair enough.
They
maybe.
don't mind vandalism.
Just all jump
but
on the
Yeah,
Maxmobile.
they don't mind. They don't mind setting fire to shit, but they hate waiting on public transport.
Yeah, they cannot travel.
Yeah.
Anything over 30 minutes is not worth their time.
Yeah.
But they could just go there because I'm sure the Warriors have tagged up their building with the Warriors in massive red letters.
Yeah, because like we said, they're not geniuses.
No, so they tag up their secret hiding place, and they'd. So why don't you just go there, wait for them, and attack them rather than setting fire to a station, like ruining everyone else's day? Bastards.
Silly Warriors. And that's
That was about it.
that was
really,
where we
wasn't it?
left it. Yeah.
Don't think we got much else.
So
It was quite a slow-paced movie. There was a lot of like establishing shots.
yeah, I mean,
and a lot of waiting around, a lot of silence.
it's just the beginning. I mean, from what I remember, having watched it before, it does pick up a bit, but it just seems like it's the same thing repeating itself. It's just them
Yeah, trying to
getting
get
into a
the train.
different area, encountering a different gang, and getting away.
Yeah.
And like pretty much all the critics said the same thing. So when it came out at the time, firstly, the weekend after it was released, there were 3 killings at the cinemas, and Paramount had to cancel all of their advertising of it, and then offer to pay the cinemas for extra security and
Fuck.
for damages done.
Oh my god.
And the guy who created it, his excuse was, well, it was really popular with all the gangs, you see, and they went to see it at the same time, so it was to be expected. Like they all just got together and killed each other.
Yeah,
It's
so
well,
so these gangs went to go and see a film about gang violence, and then it's like a load of like.
but to be
football
fair,
hooligans go and see.
they probably started the
Football
fight
Factory.
because they were expecting some like big gang violence movie, and they got a ballet with a load of guys in fancy dress.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah,
I'm not surprised
yeah.
there were killings.
Yeah, it's like they're more angry at how they've been represented.
Yeah, exactly.
If the guy said, well, it was only to be expected, then maybe you should have thought about it a bit more. It's only to be expected they'd show up and have a bit of violence.
Yeah, that's all right.
But I thought that was fine.
But then, yeah, so it was panned by critics anyway, but afterwards it became a cult classic, which
Yeah.
is,
So now it's
yeah, no.
now everyone seems to love it.
Yeah. And like I say, it's worth a watch, because it is,
Yeah.
it's interesting, it's not.
So Dan, would you carry on watching this?
yeah. I'd watch it in its entirety, make sure I know how it ends. 'Cause I'm interested in like what happened to Cleon, how they get him out,
Yeah.
and I want to see it pick up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I would want to see the action kick into gear a bit more.
I mean, it's got real good promise, to be fair. It's like pitting
Yeah.
loads of gangs against each other. That's like a great premise for a movie.
But the thing is, because I have such high praise from the game,
Yeah.
because I remember the game being really good. So I'm then watching the film thinking, "Oh, this is going to be good." So because I hadn't seen I think I had seen the film. Like you said, it's very vanilla. So
Yeah.
you can just forget what happens in it. I'm trying to think of it now because I remember the I can't remember what they were called, but the baseball lot,
Baseball
The
Furies.
Yeah, Baseball Furies or something like that.
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah, I remember them, and I was waiting for them in the film, but they didn't turn up. So, well, we saw them rush out and grab their
Bats.
Bats,
I think they become a bit more prominent
I
a
think
bit
they
later
have a
on.
scene later on,
yeah.
don't they? Yeah, I think I remember that. But
So,
yeah, no, I probably would.
I mean, I'd continue watching it. I mean, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just,
it's only an hour and a half long.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's only one more hour.
Yeah.
it's just the outlandishness of it, really. It was.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable,
Hmm.
which I think goes against it.
I just like the idea of I don't know, all these people they think they're really hard, and then they're sewing on the Warriors to the back of their
Yeah, on the
Nice.
back of their vest.
nice leather vests, and then someone else painting their face white before he goes and hits the streets. And,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's just when you look at that side of it, it's kind of I don't know what you're trying to achieve here.
There's
But
a real craft and.
yeah, they're all very good at textiles, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, they don't need to be geniuses. They can.
Yeah.
They can.
They've all got jobs as stylists on the side,
Yeah.
home
yeah.
decorators.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Was it? Yeah. So one of them tags a gravestone, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, that was it.
Remembrance.
Yeah.
Rembrandt.
He was told. Cleon at the beginning was like, "Have you got the stuff?" He was like, "Yeah, I've got the stuff." He pulls out a spray can. Not quite what we were
Hardcore.
expecting. But he pulls out a spray can. And then he's like, "Make sure everyone knows the Warriors were there." Well, everyone's there, so
Yeah.
everyone
they
knows
can,
everyone's there.
They can see you.
But yeah, so he decides, in all his glory, he could tag anything he wanted, and he finds a gravestone. Barely, it had been tagged before, but still, a gravestone?
Just rude, isn't it?
Come on, man.
That's just out of order.
That's a step too far.
These guys.
Then they go set fire to a
Hoodlums.
bloody train station, so I don't think they care about gravestones. Oh, well.
So yeah,
Should we move on to
Warriors. So
Move
yeah.
on to the game?
So the game actually starts.
Well, the game was developed by Rockstar.
Yeah, so developed by Rockstar, released in October 2005, and my notes are very slim on this, so I'm gonna look
Quickly
for some
grab
more.
up the information.
Yeah,
So this was after GTA Vice City.
yeah, well after GTA Vice City was 2002. This is a good 3 years later.
So they'd had. I don't know if they released anything in between.
I imagine they would have.
So there were like different things, like comic book, like a comic book spin-off and different things like that they released in between, but nothing like even the DVD release of this wasn't until the early 2000s.
Was it not?
No, or early 2000s. So and that was the first home release. I don't think it got released on VHS or anything like that. So
Oh. Maybe that's why it's such
Different.
a cult classic, because it came out and then just went away,
yeah,
and then people couldn't get to it, and it kind of became this. Have you heard of that Polybolus?
Polybolus?
no,
There's like this arcade game. I think it's called Polybolus.
Gelatinous cube.
Polybolus. Gelatinous cube. No, Polybius, something like that. And it was this arcade game that apparently existed, and it was only in one arcade, and it like sent people into seizures, and then it got taken away. And it's like everyone wants to find out if it's true, and it's one of those kind of urban legends. But like everyone knows about it if you've like looked into any of this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows about it. Like imagine if that came out now, loads of people go mad for it because of the it was there and it's gone, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you give someone someone then take it away, you want it back, don't you?
Yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with the cult classic of this.
yeah.
It was.
So it's a Rockstar's game released in 2005 on the PlayStation 2, the PSP, and the Xbox.
The PSP.
Yes.
What the hell would the PSP version be like?
No, I don't know. Awful, I'd imagine.
I don't imagine
But
when
the,
PSP came out. Bloody hell.
And has actually just recently been. It's on the PSN network now,
Yeah,
so
so
you
it's
can
on
get it on your
PS4.
PS3 or your PS4, which is pretty decent. Might be worth a go. So
Maybe.
it opens up much the same as the film, really.
Yeah, so it starts.
Almost exactly the same, yeah.
I mean, well, the thing is that I found weird was Rockstar went through the effort of making their own, like, in-game animations and like movie of the opening when they're giving the speech.
Yeah,
When they could have just taken it from the film.
because it is identical, pretty much. It's just cut down slightly, but
it's the same speech, but they've just cut it down to shorten it up.
Got rid of the pauses.
Like they went through it and actually remade it all, which
Yeah.
fair enough.
Props to them.
Because it does keep you in the moment rather than when I feel like a game's cut in between the
Yeah.
film and then back to the game, and then you realise, the graphics are a bit shit because now I've seen what the real thing looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it stops doing that, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And GTA have been like, I don't think they've ever done anything like that, have they? They've always kept it in game.
Yeah, no, they've never done anything like that.
yeah.
And I mean, it makes sense. I mean, we do think they ripped the audio straight from.
It sounds
Yeah, but
exactly like
it does sound exactly like it. Yeah, to be fair, I have a feeling. Well, so all of the actors from the movie, bar the ones that had died beforehand, took up their roles again
No.
in the voice acting for the game, which is
that's pretty good. Actually,
which is
isn't
good. So even if they didn't they may have ripped it straight from the movie, or they may have just got the guy to record it again. But you can barely tell the difference if they did do that. So,
No.
but it's really well done considering. Like,
it looks good.
Like I prefer it how it is with the animation.
Yeah,
I think
I
playing
think
playing
it
a movie
works.
would have broken it up too much.
I think it
um,
definitely works. And it's a good choice.
Yeah,
But yeah, so you have that, and then you have Cyrus get shot,
yeah.
and then the game goes back in time.
3 months.
So the game is a prequel, as well as the main story, which I
Yeah.
quite liked. I thought that was quite a good idea.
Yeah,
'Cause-
give it a bit of background.
yeah, that's it. Because in the film, you're just dropped in, and the Warriors are already established, and like that's fine if you're then going to develop the characters, but they don't really seem to develop the characters in the half an hour that we watched anyway.
No.
Yeah.
So it was quite nice to actually go back 3 months and see, like, so you go backwards 3 months, and it's got the main gang, and they're talking about they're getting a new person in. So they go down, and it's Rembrandt,
Yeah.
the one that tagged the grave, bastard.
Wanker.
So you play as him. So it's like, oh, okay, so he's new to the Warriors. Like, that's quite nice to see that, you know, that he's like, they had the team haven't been established. My neighbour's playing piano. I wonder if the mics will pick it up. Yeah, like it's nice to see that, you know, they're still taking new people, whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it opens up, and you're being put to the test if you can fight or not.
Yeah.
So this is their like opening fighting tutorial,
Yeah.
and it's basically you beating up a load of homeless people.
Yeah. But they're getting alcohol out of it, so.
But the thing
Yeah.
is being beaten to an inch of your life worth one bottle of beer?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, it
I've
probably
not-
wasn't beer. Probably it
I
was,
don't
it was
suffer
probably
from
like some-
alcoholism, so we'd have to ask Tom that one.
Yeah, fair point.
The way you were
We'll
going
give him a
about it,
text.
Yeah.
it's probably because you had to go in a certain order of like doing this move or that combo, and for a while you were just beating on the guy.
Yeah,
But
so I
it went
played-
on forever.
I played the opening where I just beat the shit out of this old hopeless man.
Rudy.
I feel a bit bad, but like the fighting mechanics are pretty good. I mean, it's Rockstar, so even old Rockstar knew how to make a game. I mean, just look at Vice City, San Andreas. So like when you're hitting, you actually feel like you are hitting them. Like you can grapple them, you can throw them, you can, you know, when they're on the floor, you can get on top and start beating the crap out of them. You
Yeah,
can
it seemed
throw
a bit more
things at 'em.
brawl
You can
focused.
throw them through like boxes. Like the fights worked well.
Yeah.
They felt like you were doing damage. You know, like they were entertaining as well at the same time.
Yeah.
So we'd done that. What happened after
So
that?
then after that, you as Rembrandt get given your vest, and
Yeah,
then
get
you need to
accepted.
go try find some medicine because you're pretty beat up by this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which they call flash.
Yeah, you're pretty flash. Oh, what the medicine's flash? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
basically
medicine's
some
called
sort of drug.
Flash.
You don't really know what it is, but it's some sort of drug. But in order to get it, you need to get some money first, and the way you do that is by mugging people, stealing from shops, and stealing car radios, which is
Fair enough. I can imagine that's
it's a nice new element.
That is
Right.
what the Warriors would get up to as well.
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
makes sense. Not going to dispute that.
This started where it getting really funny though. For me, it's quite. It got a bit hilarious.
Yeah, so I was playing this this segment of the game. So then after you've got enough money, you've got to go try find the dealer who's going to sell you some flash so you can heal yourself, and you kind of start like a kind of free running element of the game. So you're climbing walls and climbing over elements, but the problem I had was that the controls I found it ridiculously hard to go in a straight line.
The thing is, the bit that I played, I wasn't really running around. I was
Yeah.
just in a circle beating people up, so it was fine for me. But like, I could tell even the little bit where I tried to move, the camera isn't static, so it's like not like the camera doesn't move at all, and then you have to move it yourself, which is fine if that's the case. And it's not that it constantly follows behind you, which is fine if that's the case. It's like a mix.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes it stays, and then other times it comes with you, or other times it overshoots. So you're running, and the camera overshoots it, and that's why you kept running off to an angle.
But it's also like an overly sensitive directional
Yes.
I
pad
think
as
it was
well.
when you started sprinting as well.
Yeah.
everything went out of
So
control.
anyway, so
Yeah.
I was doing fine until I had to jump through a window, and so I got through the first window, tried to get through the second window, ended up running into a wall and falling out of the building.
a few
And
times.
this happened multiple times until I eventually managed to get across.
But yeah,
but it was
so
hard.
the controls aren't the best. Like the
Yeah.
moving mechanics aren't the best.
But it's not bad enough to ruin the game.
no,
Yeah.
I think you'd get used to it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. So I think you'd get the hang of it
Yeah, it's-
because we're so used to what it is now.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bike or going back to the D-pad after a long time with the analog stick.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just-
Yeah, you just have to relearn how it used to work.
yeah.
So that was quite good. So you kind of introduced the kind of like movement aspects of the game, and then I got to my flash dealer, healed myself, and that was it. I passed the controller on to Dan, and you took the next mission.
Yeah, the next mission, the destroyers come round and they start bombing the place. Like, not proper bombing.
Well, fire bombs.
Cocktails, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have to go out and round your crew up. Then this is where you start seeing a few new elements as well. It's like you've got commands, so you go into a command option menu and you can tell.
Do you say command?
I say command.
I say command. What's wrong with you?
Damn.
Just a dialect. Bath or bathe or bath.
Okay, I'll let you say command, but it's wrong.
Commando.
Yeah, commando.
Well, come on. But you can order your guys to follow you, to stop, sort of like Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah.
Follow me. There's obviously a few things we didn't get to, but then it's like wreck 'em, destroy 'em, or cause havoc. Yeah. So that's an interesting thing. Obviously,
It's quite a nice mechanic when you've got like a big group around you and you can then pick what you want them to do. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm wondering what kind of does it drop you in a situation where you can cause mayhem, or you can tell them to go back, or like is it a clear choice of which one you're going to use at the time? So I mean, like, because if you've got enemies, you're going to tell the warriors to destroy them. If you haven't, but there's loads of shops, you're going to tell the warriors to do the shops in. So it's kind of like when you're going to look between two and be like, oh, I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick, because they're all very distinct to the point that they're clearly used for certain situations.
Yeah.
So you've got like 6 of them.
Yeah.
But I am wondering, are you going to ever be wondering which one you're going to use, or are you just going to always use the one for that time? But it's still cool.
Yeah.
It's still
good.
Yeah,
nice little feature.
Really get into the game. Never played it before. It'd be interesting to see if they do like offer alternate routes or solutions if it was that far developed.
I'm sure it was. I mean, it's Rockstar, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. Like there was, so it kind of does have like an open world element to it, because we were discussing this and I didn't remember it, but just having a little read here. So you can use your clubhouse to train, to like build up your strength and stuff, and talk to people, and then you can leave and go pick up the missions. But I assume you can go mug people, in the interim. So like I don't remember the open world being like huge.
No, I don't think it was like GTA open world.
Yeah.
I just think it was like
Gives you a little bit of freedom.
Yeah. I think it was just like a hub, and then when you go into a mission, you're then quite closed off. And it seems like you've got a bigger environment, but it just kind of like, there's a fence in front of you, so you've got to do a right, and then you've got to jump this fence, and then you've got to beat up this person, then do a left.
Yeah. It was
and do another left, and you're back to where you were if you could have just jumped over that one fence. But
yeah.
It was only like the tutorial stages, but it did feel like it was very just running through. They had markers
linear,
where you had to go to. So I start collecting the gang members, and it's just introducing you to all the characters. And you had to get caught up with the cops, and a few new mini games are introduced, sort of like lock picking,
which you sucked at.
No.
yeah.
If
the footage is shown, you were terrible.
But the second time round, I was fine.
That was me. For the second one, Dan went. I was like, come on, Dan, it can't be this difficult. And he was like, all right, then you do it. So he passed the control over to me.
First time,
it wasn't difficult.
I've got terrible eyesight. I was sitting far away from the screen. And
excuses. I don't think you're that far away.
Yeah,
from
you're
the
not that
screen.
far
it
away.
was very blurry as well. The graphics.
Oh, yeah, to be fair, should we talk about the graphics?
Yeah, let's.
They're like, so they're quite good. Like, the warriors themselves look pretty good to the actual person.
The characters, yeah.
The character models.
They're like, it's a standard Rockstar graphic, and a Rockstar graphic style as well.
Yes.
Like, so they're not going for like ultimate realism, but it's the Rockstar.
Realistic, but it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
Fits the actual style of the movie. Fits it to a T, really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like, but you can tell it's, like, that kind of like hazy Vaseline effect that they put over the lens. So like it kind of blurs.
Yeah.
Everything, and maybe it's to make the game run a bit better.
Potentially.
I don't know, because it's on the PS2. You never know.
But it just really does show when you're running anywhere.
If you move the camera around,
everything
it
just kind of
blurs
into one.
Yeah. And when you're running down dark, dingy alleyways most of the time, it kind of does get a bit too much.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting if, like, is the PS4 just exact port?
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
It's a PSN, yeah.
It's a
I would
shame,
have thought
innit?
it's a port.
I would love to see this come out in new graphics. And, like, imagine this in the GTA 5 engine.
Oh, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
It would be so good. If you could play this co-op again, just run through that, and it was open world, it would be so good.
Another thing I'd say, obviously, when I was playing that last part, we switched over to Cleon. So,
Yes.
by the sounds of it, you do, throughout the course of the game, you get to play with most, if not all, of the 9 core members.
Yeah.
And they all have different abilities or stats, by the sounds of it. It's like Rembrandt, he's a tagger.
He does all the tagging, and he has a crazy jump as well.
Yeah. The stats definitely seem different, because I was like, oh, okay, here comes a moon jump, and then Cleon just does this little hop. I was like, you bastard!
But then he beats people to
Yeah,
a halt.
he's
Just a tank.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the tagging?
The tag. Oh my god, the tagging. So like,
just before we finished up playing.
part of the game is that you tag over other gangs' tags.
Yeah.
So the other tags do like a really cool destroyers with like a bubble effect and whatnot, and then you just come over and put a W over it, which is a bit pathetic. You just want something a bit more exciting.
Yeah.
But,
to the point.
But yeah, the mini game to do it is tough work. So if it, I don't know if the gameplay will go long enough to see it, but if it does, you get like a yellow W appear on the screen, and then your circle, and you've got to use the left analog stick to outline the W. Doesn't sound difficult, does it?
No, really.
Fucking was. I went through 3 cans of spray paint to do that.
See what you're doing
It
with
was
your fingers.
ridiculous. Like, I'd start it off, and then you couldn't get the angle properly, so you'd go off the W. So you go off the yellow, and you like try and bring the angle back, but then you'd overshoot, and it was so
It
precise.
did look hard, to be fair.
It was,
and I
it was
do kind of remember it being like
pain in
overly
the
hard,
arse.
yeah.
Because I think later on you have to collect spray cans as well.
Oh, that's.
Oh god!
And I remember once I was like, we've got to tag this, but I've only got 2 spray cans. It's not going to happen. So I need to go and get more spray cans, because like, it is tough.
I'm glad
work.
they gave you unlimited spray cans for that one tag.
Yeah,
in
he
the
was like,
tutorial.
lucky I brought a spare. Lucky I brought a spare.
Yeah.
Here's my backup.
But they caught like the music in the game.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on
Spot on to the film.
To the film, yeah.
Works really well, and then like the aesthetics is really good as well. Like, it has the comic book style look to it, and like, yeah, like they done like the opening was exactly the same as like the way that it was a comic book and then went into the Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel.
Exactly the same as the film. So they did put a lot of attention and care into this.
The mini games, in my opinion, there were so many of them. From
there's
smash and grab, the taking the car radio, mugging, lock picking, uncuffing people.
Uncuffs, handcuffs.
They just seemed a
Shoehorned in.
bit shoehorned in and just a bit janky when it came to control wise.
Yes.
So I was working out the L1 R1 when you're uncuffing people. That seems as simple as, but you have to do it it just seemed harder than it should have been.
Yeah, I mean, I can get why they do it. Break up the elements and stick in some different aspects to the gameplay, and I don't know. It kind of adds something for me.
Yeah, it does. It does add like something extra.
Yeah.
Like when you do the car radio, you have to spin the analog stick round to undo the screws, and it's like, oh right, it gives you a little bit something else to do. You're not just smashing the window, pressing triangle, go up to the next car, smash the window, press triangle.
Yeah.
But then like when it's like the L and R and the like, it's just like it should be easy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm not, I've got to unlock him. It's going to take a little bit of time. I don't understand how I'm doing this. It should just be because the spinning the analog stick obviously is easy. The lock picking is easy, except for Dan.
Hey,
The tagging is not easy, but I'd love to see if one of you could do it on your first try. That'd be amazing if you did. But yeah, shall I go through some reviews then for this?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that actually. I'll just mention you could mug people halfway through a battle as well.
Yes,
the
what was
option
that
came
about?
up. It's like mug him. It's like I'm surrounded by like 12 people.
You're literally about to beat him up.
Well, at least they give you the option.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Just to kick it off, we've got a random a random one.
Oh.
OneUp.com gave it a B+.
Lovely.
Very good. Yeah.
We'll stick with the PS2 version because that's what we played. Eurogamer 8.1. Game Informer 8.25. Game Pro gave it 4.5 stars out of 5. GameSpot 8.6. GameSpy 4.5 stars. Game Trailers 8.5.
Okay.
IGN 8.7 and XPlay 4 out of 5.
So all solidly high scores.
All in the 80%.
Yeah.
So
And above.
great.
Yeah.
And worked out very well.
I mean, and from my memory of the game, it only gets better.
Yes,
Yeah.
I definitely think it gets better.
Yeah.
For this.
So, I'd agree.
It went. Yeah, it was very good.
So just to point out that lawsuit, so it was
Oh, yeah.
there was a lawsuit, and it was from the opening movie. So remember we were saying about when Cyrus is giving his speech, and we thought it was just taken straight out of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, it was. Okay, so he wasn't included in the acting, in the actors that were reprised their roles,
Oh.
and he didn't get paid for for them using his voice, so he sued them. And he sued them for like 250 grand. And he was like, they can easily pay it because they made 37 million or something out of the game. So
It's Rockstar. Even back then, I mean, well, GTA was.
Yeah, they're making some serious money.
Yes. But so
Well, how did it go?
Just to clear that up, I don't know, but just to clear that up, so we did think, so it was definitely just taken straight out of the movie, that opening scene.
Yeah, well there we go.
So,
There were more sequels planned apparently, but
it got cancelled, didn't they?
yeah, it got cancelled. So
Yeah.
what can you do, eh? I would like to see a follow-up game to this.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see a follow-up film as well, actually.
Yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
if there were. I just don't think
I
it
don't
did,
think-
it didn't do well enough critically. And if you try and make a cult classic again, it never goes that
It
well,
never goes
does it?
down well. No, I agree, but like they could take the idea and do something with it. What if it was like a TV show?
Yeah. Didn't they make a TV show?
Did they make a TV
I
show?
don't know.
Don't
I feel like it's
think they did.
maybe they didn't.
Strange. I don't know if I'd be interested in a TV show. I think I'd watch the rest of the movie and that'd be it. Enough for me.
In 2016, Joe and Anthony Russo. Are they the
Russo,
people-
yeah, they did.
Russo, they're the Russo brothers.
Yeah, the Russo brothers did the
They're
Marvel.
doing loads of Marvel films.
Yeah,
Announced they were working with Paramount to do a TV show,
Oh.
awesome.
but that was in 2016. So we'll see.
See what happens there. So yeah, I mean, like we say, good game. I loved it, and would definitely.
I think I'd need to play.
Would definitely like to. I might get it on the PS4. I might actually just do it and then complete it, just for old time's sake.
I think I'd need a bit more practice with it, and just to get into it.
Yeah,
Before-
yeah, no, I understand that. But the thing is, if it is hard to judge this kind of game in half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like any kind of like big
Long
game.
story-driven
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
I trust Rockstar because I've loved all their games, but I mean, it just didn't grab me the same way as like the first 5 minutes of GTA would grab me.
Yeah, but then the first like hour of Bully didn't really grab me, and then I got well into that.
Yeah.
So it is a case of like sometimes they're a bit of a slow burner.
Yeah.
Well, should we have a look at the cool wall?
Yeah, let's stick it on the cool wall.
Let's put it on the cool wall. So top 5: GoldenEye, Hercules, Aladdin, Harry Potter, Philosopher's Stone, Goosebumps. Bottom 5: Gremlins, Atari 5200. Probably should say the console, shouldn't I? Spider-Man 1, GameCube, Little Nicky, Game Boy Color, Back to the Future. I think I've done more than 5. Back to the Future Part 1, NES, The Crow, PSX, and Wayne's World at the bottom on the SNES.
No.
Poor Wayne's World. Um,
I'm not going to say anything.
No.
Adam, you missed the. You weren't here for the Action Man.
I did. I missed Action Man.
That went at number 8.
Oh, so not too bad
So
actually.
that
Did-
was
did
liked.
quite well.
I do recommend. I know you hate the Game Boy Color, but I do recommend it. It was good fun. So where are we
Okay.
thinking then, guys?
So let's just. So it's a PS2 game.
It's a PS2 game, yeah. So
So
the other ones are Finding Nemo and Spider-Man 1, which are on the same
kind of on the same
generation.
level.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, nostalgia getting the better of me again, or not even getting the better of me because it's an amazing game, I'm sticking it somewhere right near the top for me. So our top one's GoldenEye, Hercules, Aladdin. It's in with those three, and I think I probably.
It's a tough call.
It's a real tough
I
call
think
because I love
know where I'm going
Hercules.
to put it.
I think I might put it maybe third, either second or third.
Yes, yeah, I think second.
Second?
Ooh,
Yeah.
The thing is, like, yeah, Hercules looks amazing,
Yeah.
and it plays well, except from the floaty jumps. But this, like, it does get bigger and it does get better,
Yeah.
and and it is just like there's so much more to it. It's a much bigger game.
again, I think I need to play a lot more of it. I would have put it
Yeah.
in fourth place above Harry Potter, definitely.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's still
But-
a fair shout.
I would have left the top three untouched.
yeah.
See, I'm veering more towards second now with you, Steph. Just because I do love it. I do really love this game, and it's when you're starting to get into those like really big games. There's just so much to it, and
It's
you
just like
hours of enjoyment.
it's like anything. Me and Tom played Final Fantasy 15 for half an hour at Eurogamer, and we both came away going, pile of crap, rubbish. Why would you play it? I'm now 40 hours into it, and not looking back. I'm still going, and I'm only on like chapter 4 because I've done so much side stuff, and I'm nowhere near the end. But that half an hour, I came away telling people I'm not going to buy it. I don't understand why it's taken 10 years.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Now I've actually go on. I'm going to put 3 hours into it if I don't enjoy it. And it's changed everything. So half an hour is a very difficult time to judge things on.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. But we're not doing longer because we don't have enough time. Yeah, so I reckon second.
Yeah, I'm gonna say second as well. Sorry, Dan.
You've been out.
yeah, you've been out,
Anyway, I was gonna go like compromise and say third, but
Nah.
no. Where's
No.
Tom? Where's Tom when you need him?
I'm sure Tom would stick it in second with us. I know. Did he love this game? I've got a feeling he did.
I
I'm
think
sure
he
he played it with Tom as well.
Good thing he wasn't here then.
So then, the question.
The question.
Dan, what do you reckon? Cash grab or nay?
No, it's not a cash grab.
Straight up.
my opinion. I mean, I'm not really taken with the game or the movie, to be honest. But
Yeah, fair point.
it's a bit vanilla all for me. It's not got the same pizzazz as other Rockstar games, but again, I haven't got into it. I need to play a bit more. And
Yep.
even the movie, a good premise, interesting visual style, but again, there's just something not quite right there.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what makes it a cult classic.
It'll be interesting to have a look, see if the book's actually any good this is all
Yeah.
based on.
That's interesting. I might go that route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never read it either. But I definitely wouldn't say it's a cash grab because, again, Rockstar, they put a lot of effort into their games, and there is a decent amount of polish from what I've seen. And also, I mean, yeah, it's a cult classic, but it came out in 1979, the game 2005.
Yeah, but then the DVD release came out in 2000, so it's going to start building up steam.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's the only argument you can make against it is that
But I think it's also
it
something...
is like if it's up and coming at that point.
Yeah.
It is getting
Yeah.
more and more like known about and more people
Developing its
interested.
cult classic status sort
Yeah,
of thing.
it's kind of building up slowly.
I
But
still think it's something they would have gone out of their way to get the license for. And
the thing is, it's the perfect Rockstar game in
Yeah.
premise, isn't it?
Yeah, beat him up. It just fits in with their.
It's gangs. It's in New York.
Mm.
What more do they
Yeah.
want? It's gangs in New York beating people up with baseball bats. It's
GTA, but with the movie behind it.
Yes, that's
Basically.
exactly it.
Well.
So I think Rockstar just saw it and thought, we can do this.
And they did a good job. And
Yeah.
they did a real good job.
Yeah,
they did
I mean,
put a lot of
the
effort into
reviews
it.
prove it.
Yeah.
80% and above.
Yeah, and like the effort they went to, like you say, remake. They could have just stuck in the film, but to remake the whole of that opening sequence, but with the animation.
But then to make a whole prequel to it, to
Yeah.
let you get to know
That's a
the
big thing.
characters and
To bring in the original actors to do their voices.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
they
a cash
really-
grab in
they
any way.
really
It's
padded it out.
just, yeah.
Made sure there was
They
an actual
really-
game
yeah.
behind it.
They really could have cash grabbed this if they wanted to, but
Yeah.
they took a lot of time and didn't.
So I can get the
So
same
you-
answer from you two.
Unanimous.
Not a cash grab.
Not a crash grab.
Woo!
And a pretty good game.
Yeah. So you tempted to buy it on PS4 now?
I
Mark?
am actually, because I struggle to find things that I want to get, and for the sake of, the few quid that it'll be on the PSN network.
It's probably
It's
like
a game.
15 quid. I think it's.
Do you
I think-
reckon?
I think it's a fair bit of money. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I won't then.
So have a
fair.
quick check.
Yeah.
I've got the app on my phone.
Yeah.
I've
But-
got a few things that have definitely come before it.
Well, but the thing is, because I know I liked it, and I know I could play it all the way through and enjoy playing it. And
The thing
it's
is, what-
hard to find a game like that.
I think if I could guarantee to play it co-op, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because my best memories of this are playing it co-op and just having a fucking good laugh. But I don't know if I would go out. But the thing is, I have been looking at it, and like when I see it pop up, I am like,
Shall
yeah,
I?
that is
Shall I?
tempting.
Yeah.
But we'll see how much it is. Let me just get to it. There it is. Load in. £12.
£12.
It does look like the graphics have been done a little bit. It doesn't.
Do you know what? I might go and have a look at some gameplay for the PS4 full version, see what it looks like, and then make my mind up. I'll let you know next week when we come in if I've bought it or not.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Do you think it has online co-op?
Oh, I doubt
To be fair, I don't want that.
No, I don't want
none of
that.
shit. I want to be sitting next to the person I'm playing with. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I could do anything online. I bloody hate it.
Yeah.
Could work well though. Online, there's different gangs, like different clans. There's different gangs
There could be
running
a
around.
really good online multiplayer,
Yeah,
though, couldn't there? Like,
multiplayer.
you're a part of a clan, and you go out and you have to, get territory back. Like,
Yeah.
That'll incite
that
gang
would work.
violence.
Huh?
That'll incite gang violence for sure.
No. Well, you
So,
say
yeah.
that Call of Duty hasn't brought a load of people shooting
Nah.
people for the fun of it, is it?
Nah.
Well, there's argument for that. But
Yeah, but
I don't think it has.
Nah.
But yeah, so good game all in all.
yeah,
Good choice, Adam.
you're welcome.
No idea what we
So-
got for next week, but oh, it's number 18 next week.
18.
It's not bad going. Hopefully Tom will be with us. He'll have recovered by then.
Hopefully
himself
he would have
up.
by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cleaned himself up. Yeah, that's it.
He would have had a week-long shower.
Oh man.
Right.
All right.
Call
We'll
it a
see you
day.
later.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.